Oh my goodness. What? Good, good, good. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. How are you doing? So what's going on? Today I am doing promotion for my first book, my self-help book for men, and yeah, it's called Who's the Man? Congratulations. Thank you so much. That's quite something. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Yeah. I'm also really excited to know that you're part of the What Now team. You heard about it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great working with you. Welcome back to What Now, where we are here with author Henry Platt. And our co-host, you know, is Shannon Hughes. We're so excited about his book, and we had the opportunity to interview him, so much so that he is now going to be part of our show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. And I'm just really looking forward to bringing my knowledge and wisdom to the show and hopefully inspiring the viewers out there.
Yes, so we're so excited because now we have a third co-host and a male perspective. So today's topic of discussion, we're going to talk about men's health, not just physical, but we're going to cover mental health, the mind-body connection, and Henry here is also a hypnotherapist, which is very interesting. So we're going to dive a little bit into that today. So I'm just going to open us up with, what do you think the biggest stigma men face when it comes to expressing their emotions?
Man, these are some hot topics right now. I think the biggest stigma that men are facing right now is what is masculinity and what is a real man.
Right.
I just saw the episode with Marlon. He got interviewed on his new movie, Him. And he was asked the question, what is a real man? And they had this interaction where his co-host or co-stars, she didn't let him finish the conversation. She kept interrupting him. But he played it real cool, and it was a really good, I guess, really good...
Can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah, it was a really good example of what a real man should be in that moment.
Wow.
And he was very poised and calm and really grounded.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta check the episode out.
Very good respect. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you got to display his emotional intelligence. He didn't even get to answer, but in his demeanor and answered the question. Like, I'm gonna just show you. Since you won't let me talk.
Exactly. So I saw that and I said, well, that is what a real man is about. Being able to be in touch with his emotions, not being reactive, and making, I guess, good decisions.
So do you feel like there's cultural expectations with black men in particular and having to suppress your emotions?
Yeah, because we are looked at as top tier, and we are looked at as the providers, and we can't show weakness.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think we were raised that way. We saw our fathers being raised that way, and that's been passed down to us. And I think in today's social climate, we're finding it to be a little bit more acceptable for men to be able to be more vulnerable.
Right.
But it's difficult at times because we are not sure how that will be received from our loved ones or from society in general. And I think we may feel if I'm vulnerable, I will one, be taken advantage of, or two, I won't be taken as serious or respected as a man if I'm showing emotion.
Right. And that's one of those things I think the stigma we're kind of breaking in the next generation is vulnerability can actually be a sign of strength.
Yes.
I think a stronger man is able to show his emotions and have more emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And that was something that your guys' dads was like,
I'm kind of glad we're breaking the stigma because I have young adults, sons in their 30s, late 30s, mid 30s, and early 30s, and I noticed that the way they respond to
stress and that kind of thing is so different from when I came up.
Right.
They are absolutely okay with being vulnerable, and they do understand that that is not a sign of weakness. And but I know that in some instances it's hard for me to break through when they're going through stuff, because men have a tendency, especially check me if I'm wrong, when you're asking them how they're feeling, they kind of go, I'm okay, everything's all right, that kind of thing. How do you break through that cycle with young men?
Patience.
A lot of patience.
Yeah, patience and understanding that one, it's going to take us a lot to be able to trust ourselves, to trust you with our feelings.
Okay.
And so we have to process it first, because if we are not allowed the time to process, that's when we become reactionary.
Okay.
And if you just give us a little bit of time, a little bit of grace, and allow us to come to you on our own time and terms, then you'll get that emotional connection from us.
Okay.
But if we feel like we've been pinned in a corner and we have to express it, when we honestly don't know what's going on emotionally ourselves, and so we have to organize our thoughts. We have to compartmentalize. Okay, this is how I'm feeling. Why am I feeling that way? Should I be feeling that way? Am I going overboard? Am I overreacting before I say something? Because if I say something now, I know I'm going to blow up. I know it's not going to be received well. Is the person open to receive? Can I trust them with how I feel? So I think having the patience with him will give him the floor to be able to share and express.
I appreciate that, because it looks like there has to be a lot of analysis before you even respond, because there's so much going on.
And too, like, men aren't by nature emotional beings. Like, us as women, we can process things a lot faster. We can identify and pinpoint, I feel this way, and this is why I feel that way. You know what I mean? And I think, like, even with my husband, it took, like, years for him to, like, cry in front of me. Or, like, really, you know, let his walls down. But I realized even for my son, it's like, you have to create a safe environment. And like he said, just wait it out. Even with my kid, like, when I see he's going through something, he's like, just leave me alone. And I'm the type of person where I'm like, I want to solve, like, what is wrong with you? Like, I just want to solve this right now, and we can all be good. I know exactly what to say. You tell me, and then they're like, even my husband, he's that type that, like, he'll walk away. Like, we had to learn conflict resolution, and I'm the type of person, like, I want to go through it, and let's get over it, and we're good. And he's like, I need space. I need you to just get away for 10 minutes. I'll come back and talk to you.
Get information, especially for single women that are wanting to get married.
Right.
These are some things that you need to think about ahead of time, before you go into a relationship. That sort of thing.
So everybody process is different. I think men in particular, it's harder for them to, like you said, I don't think it's fully broken. I think it's in the process of now, okay, we're getting accepted that we have emotions too.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like while you're in that transition, you especially have to be like,
And then you just have to understand how men and women are raised different.
right.
Like I said, we were raised to be strong, don't cry.
Yeah.
Crying is a sign of weakness. And if you show emotional, you being a girl, stop acting like a girl. You know, when you fall down, get right back up. You know, we don't have time to sit here and cry about it. And to be honest, if a man is a provider and we are struggling to get by and things are happening, both of us can't be sitting here crying and talking about our feelings. You know what I'm saying? One of us got to be like, okay, get up, let's do it. They see it before it's happening. Yeah. They know the next move. They see around the corner before you see it. Yeah. So you're able to rest in your feminine and your emotions. That's right. But if I'm going to be the leader and the provider, I have to have a specific time for that. Right. I can't do it live in the moment. Right. Because I have to get us somewhere. And then once I feel we are in a safe space, then I can do that. So that makes sense. Instinctually, that's how we are as men. Right. and then women are the opposite, and so they kind of expect or us to be like them,
Right.
but we can't.
Right.
Because we got to move the family for it.
Right.
So, yeah. So
I really appreciate that insight. And let me ask you guys a question, both of you. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. So, there are a lot of 20-year-olds snapping and going up to college campuses and just shooting people. I can't take it anymore, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you attribute that kind of behavior to? Because it happens almost every week.
Mm-hmm.
I think about that.
You know, we're not at the easiest part of, like, it's hard to live right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like we're almost getting similar to Great Depression times. It's like people are really struggling. I think that's really right, like where it comes from. But also too, I think, especially the younger generation, there's almost too much stimulation in the world for them. They have access to too much information. It's almost like information overload. You know, the too many options, too much information, too much stimulation that make anybody go crazy. Because I noticed that even with my siblings, like there's so much. And I think a lot of them are getting misplaced feelings and ideas from the internet and different stuff like that we didn't have before. You know, they're going to seek help for something that's steering them in a whole different direction, or they land in something and they think that's the solution, but it's not. I think that plus like a heightened climate of, you know, just the weight of the world can make anybody snap on this thing.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of fragile, mentally individuals, and being bombarded with social media,
Right.
it's a form of programming,
Mm-hmm.
and the things that catch our attention are mostly the negative things.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the social media platforms, to the news, what are going to get us views? What are people going to be attracted to? What do they want to see? What feeds their ego? What feeds their ability to, I guess, sustain their life?
Right.
And a lot of that is programming. So with our phones being in our hand constantly and the things that we are seeing, these things program our emotions to be connected to those actions.
Yeah.
So if I'm feeling like, oh, I'm anxious and afraid and such made me feel that way, what is my option? Oh, such and such killed some or committed suicide on there, and that happened for them, so that must be the way I need to deal with it. But they don't see any good examples of how to deal with your emotions. And I think us men, and it starts with us men and in the families, to be able to help guide our kids or the next generation to be able to deal with emotions versus watching what they see on social media and how they glorify the negative.
Yeah.
It's something that our minds automatically attract to.
I think too, I mean, none of us were made to be exposed to so much so early. Like, I have to really be on top of my 7-year-old, you know, 'cause he's a gamer. He does, you know, we just deleted Roblox because it was just too much stuff popping up on there that I didn't like. And I used to not even let him play it at all, but now he's learning coding, he's building games in Roblox, and he wants to be able to. So I was like, okay, at a very limited level. But even then, there's stuff, and I'm like, you're not meant to see that at this age. Like, you can't process that. They're getting exposed to so much violence and stuff that I think detaches them from reality too much, to where they do stuff like that and they're not in the real world. So that's why I try to tell people, I'm like, my goal is to raise a 90s kid that can touch grass. Because it's just too to be, you know what I mean, between video games and stuff, they don't understand real life.
Kind of wrap it up a little bit and come back and talk about hypnotherapy and how you might be able to deal with some of that through your background. We'll be back.
80% 20% of Americans accused of a crime will get appointed a public defender.
We're the front line of defending people's constitutional rights.
For every dollar we spend on public defenders, we spend $3 on prosecutors.
The entire apparatus of the state is behind the prosecution.
Gideon's Promise trains, mentors, and supports public defenders.
It's changed the face of public defense.
It gives me that sense of I'm not doing this by myself.
It's fueled me to continue on in this fight.
Welcome back to What Now? We are here with our new host, Henry Platt. So we were talking about mental health with men, and now we're going to dive a little bit into Henry's hypnotherapy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell us what hypnotherapy really is versus, all the stuff we see on it's intriguing, but
Yeah, so I'm trying to put it real simple. So hypnotherapy is the process of using hypnosis as a tool to create lasting change on a subconscious level. And there's ways to do that. And I can give you some examples. So I'll talk about the hypnotic state. The hypnotic state is a natural human behavior. You and I are constantly going in and out of hypnosis. Like the way you're looking at me right now, you're in a state of hypnosis. Whenever you find yourself daydreaming, you're in a state of hypnosis.
then I think I do it more than the average person. Because I'm always daydreaming.
Whenever, say if I'm talking to you and your mind drifts off and then it comes back, that's a state of hypnosis. Whenever you're driving in the car and you notice that you made it to your destination and you don't know how, but because you were in a state of hypnosis. So the subconscious mind is actually driving the car. It's not you. And the way you learn to drive that car is through repetition. And through repetition is how things get implanted into your subconscious mind. That's how we learn. So that's how we learn positive behaviors, and that's how we learn negative behaviors. That's how we get triggered. That's how we learn to deal with emotions. That's how we learn how to manage your money or manage your relationships, how to interact with each other. So that's a misconception that it's something that I do to you, but it's something that we're all doing on a daily basis.
To ourselves.
Yes, to ourselves. Unaware.
So, are there people more, so I have ADHD.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm always,
There.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Are there some, like, when you have a condition like ADHD, make you more, like, predisposed to be in the state more than the average person?
Yeah, because you are constantly your subconscious mind is constantly present, so that makes you more susceptible to suggestions in life. So that overthinking happens a lot in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you are actually your own hypnotherapist.
Oh, that's interesting.
So when you're overthinking, you're constantly giving yourself suggestions to what's happening and what's going on in your life, and that's on repeat.
Yeah.
And so you're going to constantly keep experiencing the same things because you're constantly with that self-talk.
That's crazy.
And so for me as a hypnotherapist, I understand that I activate that subconscious mind and I replace the negative self-talk with positive self-talk.
Okay.
And that's through affirmations, that's through positive reinforcements, or what it is that you now want to think about versus what you've been forcing yourself to think about.
Yeah, so like, do mantras help?
Yeah, mantras help in the sense of once you're in the state, if you're in a relaxed state and you know how to get yourself there, but most people don't know how to get themselves in a relaxed state.
Right.
And it's a challenge with all the things that's going on and the overthinking process. that prevents you from actually really totally relaxing. Once you're under, if you were doing a session with me and we did a relaxation, it's called a progressive relaxation, you'll experience a state of relaxation that you never experienced before. You will think you thought that you were relaxing, but it's on a much deeper level. And once we get to that state, we can start to implement mantras. Do you have a mantra now?
I think so.
You have a few.
I was like, I have a few different ones I repeat to myself. Well, also too, at like the end of the night, I have to do repetitive stuff to kind of shut my brain down. Because it's hard for me at the end of the day, like I'm just always cycling through a zillion ideas and things that I have to do, and like things in the back of my brain. My brain's always talking to me. So it's like never quiet in there. So at the end of the night, I have to like, I have different ADHD strategies to like help me focus or go to bed. Or do simple things.
And
that just one thing that I'm doing.
That repetition is you reprogramming yourself, and that's what a hypnotherapy does. We have different tools and different techniques, but that's basically the gist of it.
Gosh, I have a question then.
Yeah.
For people in the military that have PTSD and all those sort of things, so would hypnotherapy be something that possibly something they could add into their?
Yes. Can I tell you a story?
Yes, please.
So my stepfather was a Vietnam vet. He suffered from PTSD. He had COPD and alcoholism. Okay. And it was around the time I graduated from HMI, which is the Hypnosis Motivational Institute in Tarzana. It's the first nationally accredited hypnotherapy school. And my mother had told him that I was graduating soon, and he called me and he said, "Do you think it would help me?" And he says, "I can't sleep, I'm not eating, I'm having nightmares." And I told him I could. So I did a hypnotherapy session with him over the phone. And 2 days later, he called me back, and he was in tears. He said, "I hadn't slept that good since before Vietnam." He said, "Whatever you did," he said, "it took me to the deepest relaxation place I haven't been in a long time."
That's an alternative to medicine, right?
It is.
So you're using a natural.
A natural.
So I've done like meditation sessions and stuff like that have gotten me where I felt like that. Is it similar to that? It's just adding in the component, or is it different?
Yes, a little bit different. So meditation is calming the mind, and hypnosis or hypnotherapy is reprogramming the mind. So the reprogramming component is the difference. If you're having problems calming the mind, meditation is great. But if you have, like say for instance, you're experiencing anxiety throughout your life or your days, and things are triggering that, what we can do is we can, one, discover what that trigger is, and then we change the association to that trigger. So, and that's on a subconscious level. So yeah, so it's more of a reprogramming than a quieting of the mind.
This is terrific information.
So you guys see those shows where they have the hypnotherapy guys and they make them do crazy stuff?
Yes.
That's immediately where my mind goes.
We'll have to come back and we're going to take a break and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about hypnotherapy and maybe some other topics. If not, we absolutely want to do another show on this.
Okay.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Because when you talk, they hear you.
I wanted to know a little bit about regression hypnotherapy. How does that work and how it could benefit?
Yes, so regression is revisiting the past and uncovering past emotional triggers or emotional traumas and being able to uncover them and change the association.
Okay.
So
that would help with someone, let's say, that was molested as a child or abused, physically abused as a kid, and that's attached.
Yes.
Okay.
So traumas get attached to our to us mentally, and being able to go back and revisit those and change it in the mind as not change it as a good experience, but change the
impact of it.
Yeah, the reaction to it and the impact it has had. Okay. So you can intensify or feel or remember what that feeling felt like, and then we can diminish that feeling to it's almost not even present in the body, not even present in the memory. The memory of it doesn't bring up an emotional charge, so we can diminish that charge. Yeah.
So then you wouldn't be responding out of trauma.
Yes.
Once it's lowered. That's very interesting.
Exactly. Yeah.
So with your own personal journey,
Yes, ma'am.
what made you become a hypnotherapist? Was it out of some kind of trauma, or was it something you just wanted to know more about?
Well, I always found myself helping people, like always helping and motivating, and I always wanted something that really made a lasting change. And just by talking to people, I would see, okay, it would help for a certain amount of time, but then they would revert back to their old habit or old ways. And so that didn't sit well with me, because I'm like, if I'm going to be helping someone, I really want to make an impact. And so that's when I discovered, I don't know, I was in the library, and I was looking at some books on the power of the mind, and hypnosis was one of the books I pulled off the shelf. And I started to read it, and when it talked about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and how they both interact with each other, and how the subconscious mind is the mind that acts, it runs your life, my mind just blew open, and I was like, oh, this is why I have financial struggles up and down. This is why these types of relationships keep showing up in my life. And so I started to do self-hypnosis, and I started experimenting with that, and then saw some changes in my life, and then I said, well, if it can help me, then maybe it can help someone else. And so that's when I decided to pursue it on a much larger level.
I've always been curious in how the brain works. It's like I told you guys, I have ADHD, so I'm always trying to find a way. Because they wanted to medicate me since I was a kid, and that just never felt right. So I was like, I gotta be able to fix this myself. I did frequency healing, meditation, and all kind of that stuff. But it's very interesting. Hypnosis was one of the things I was like,
I know.
I never, like, now that you brought clarity, now I'm like, I can see how it could be a good thing. But I think I see too many movies where I'm like,
yeah. No, I'll be honest, I have been hesitant to talk about it because it does have that negative stigma.
Yeah.
But once you understand it, you'll see it everywhere. You'll see how society plays on your state of mind. And once you understand how society uses it against you, then you can use it for you. And with the state of hypnosis and hypnotherapy, you can make change.
Depression and those with mental illness.
Yeah.
Those with some things that it can be used for as well.
Yeah. So depression is just negative self-talk, and you only see your life in a certain way. And under hypnosis, we can change that negative self-talk so that you can see your life in a more positive light. Because it's all self-talk. And that self-talk has you in believing that this situation in your life is the only situation that you can see.
And would that also be like when you're growing up and you're hearing negative things from your parents who say, oh, you're a dummy, you're an idiot?
Yeah.
I'm going to get a lot deeper. I'm glad you touched on that. being a single father and knowing, because I became a hypnotherapist before my son was born, and I learned about the state of hypnosis and how the mind of a child is structured. The mind of a child is all subconscious mind, and I'll give you an example. So when your child was 2 and they pointed to the up, right, and you would say, "That's the
sky."
Okay, and you're like, "That's the sky," and they would go,
It's the sky.
"The sky," and then you go, "What color is it?" And you go, "It's
Right.
It's what?"
You're making those suggestions, so.
No, what color
It's
is it?
blue.
Right.
Yeah.
So as they got older, and if I came to your child at 7 and said, "Oh, the sky is red," no, I'm sorry. If you taught your child the sky was red, right? And I said the sky is blue at 7, the child would be like, "No, it's red."
Right.
My mama taught me that it's red.
Yeah, right.
It's red.
Right.
There is no way that I will be able to change your child's mind that the sky is blue.
Right.
So whenever you talk about you're dumb,
Yes.
you're a bad kid, why did you do that? You're a bad kid. That bad kid is programmed into them. And guess what they will be?
A bad kid.
A bad kid, because my mama, my daddy said that I am a bad kid. So that programming is going to continue throughout their life until something or someone is able to influence them on a subconscious level that they are not the bad kid that their parent told them that they were.
Yeah.
So that could be a teacher at school, that can be a mentor or a hypnotherapist, and that's where the regression comes in.
Okay.
That's when we go visit that time. Oh, my mom did this when I was younger, and
So
it
we go
stuck
back
with
to
me.
that period,
We
and
go
then
back to
we change the
We
self-talk.
change it.
That
Yes.
makes sense. You know, I heard something about that book when I was pregnant, when I was looking at parenting books. They said whatever you tell your kid, that's going to become their inner voice the rest of their life.
The rest of their
Be
life.
very careful.
So
I always say that, I'm like, I only speak a life over my children.
You have to.
You have to.
Even when they're doing not so good things, you have to frame it in a positive way.
Yes.
That is not like you. You're better than that. I tell my son, "What's your last name?" "Platt," and we act this way. So now he knows how to carry himself.
Yeah.
So it's all about framing
Okay.
Yes.
and what we want to highlight in our kids versus the negative part.
Which lets you know, when you think about being a parent, those are some things you need to really contemplate before you even go into that.
Yeah.
But then that goes into your programming.
Correct.
Right.
So how I'm programmed is gonna go to the next generation.
Exactly.
So it's to me to arrest that and change it.
But that's it. That's where the self-awareness piece comes in. That's how it happens.
Wow.
So now that you've wrapped up your book,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be offering this to people
Yes.
very soon,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes, I
I'm
am.
excited for that because I was like, it's something that's definitely needed. And plus, I'm glad that you were able to give some clarity of how beneficial it can be.
Yes.
It's not scary.
No, it's not scary at all. It's
Yeah.
very beneficial and very powerful tool.
So I know we talked about we were going to get into the mental and physical. We only really touched on the mental and hypnotherapy today, so we will definitely get back to you guys on another episode. But that is a wrap for today. And again, welcome our new host, Henry. We're so glad to have you. The conversation was amazing. And we'll see you guys next time on What Now?